Xhibit Central Station allows surveillance of up to 48 patients and supports up to 4 22-inch touchscreen displays. Each display supports up to 16 patients and is easily configured to meet the dynamic and changing needs of any care unit. Xhibit provides the ability to view from 1 to 16 patients, and all actively monitored data is available for each patient in one patient zone. Xhibit can be configured with a single column view of each patient zone to maximize horizontal parameter display, or as a dual column configuration with maximized vertical parameter display. In an effort to enhance clinical workflow and clinical efficiency, any parameter monitored on a bedside monitor is automatically displayed in the patient zone on Xhibit. All alarm indications display automatically in the patient zone based on alarm priority, with the most recent high priority alarm message displayed in the patient zone until acknowledged. Bedside View displays the real-time patient monitor at the central station for detailed viewing of a particular patient's actively monitored parameters on a dedicated display or at the bottom section of a single display. Clinical Access is integrated into Xhibit for direct access to any patient's clinical history for review of retrospective patient data, including alarms, trended vital signs, dysrhythmias, and all waveforms, and does not require log-on credentials. The action bar is located at the bottom of every display and includes several icons. You can use a mouse to select any element on Xhibit, or with the touchscreen option, simply touch the display to make a selection. Each patient zone includes the patient title bar, bed number, alarm history bar, and task bar. There's a waveform zone and numeric zone within each patient zone. To admit, discharge, or edit patient demographics, select the patient title bar at the top of the patient zone. The patient information screen displays on the dedicated display. A message appears on the dedicated display admit screen querying you to clear patient data. Choose No if you do not wish to clear collected patient data, but wish only to admit. Touch Admit and type in the name Mary Smith and the unique ID number 54321 now. Admitting a patient can be done at the bedside monitor or on the central station. At any time, patient information can be edited simply by selecting the title bar within the patient zone and selecting Edit. Select the title bar for Mary Smith now and choose Edit. Now type a second patient ID in the ID number 2 slot on the admission screen, such as an MRN number. Type in 5555 now. Select the Trends view at the top of the dedicated display to open tabular or graphic vital sign trends from the bedside monitor on the dedicated display. To change interval and duration values, use the drop-down menu by each and select a new tabular and graphical interval for viewing of vital sign data. When Clinical Access is connected, trends are accessed within the Clinical Access application, and the Trends tab above is not present. All hemodynamic or oxygenation calculations can be accessed and displayed on the dedicated screen too. Bedside View displays the patient's entire bedside monitor with all actively monitored parameters on the dedicated display. You can launch Bedside View for any patient by choosing the Bedside View tab on the dedicated screen, or simply by clicking or touching any area of the waveform zone for any patient. Touch anywhere within the waveform zone to open Bedside View on the dedicated display to view all actively monitored parameters in more detail. Select Room 8 now to view Mary Smith's bedside monitor. Alarm status indicators appear in the numeric key for each parameter. Once alarms are active, the alarm triangle changes from gray to the color coding appropriate for the level of alarm priority for that parameter. Red for high priority, yellow for medium, and cyan for low. If an alarm is disabled, a red X appears over the gray triangle for the parameter. To adjust alarms, open the Settings menu by selecting the Waveform Parameter button located within the waveform zone. The Settings window opens, defaulting to the Waveform Parameter Alarms tab. Use the arrows to increase the high heart rate setting to 130 now. Choose the Arrhythmia tab now to change rhythm alarm settings. Select V-Run and adjust to 4. Now an alarm will occur for a ventricular run of 4 or more beats in a row. To turn on an alarm or adjust alarm settings for another parameter, select the parameter from those listed on the left. Touch Art now. Touch On and adjust using the arrows. Decrease the systolic low setting from 100 to 90 now. Waveform and numeric zones on the home screen can be configured. To change parameter order for viewing on the display, touch the Display tab and highlight the parameter you wish to move. Select the parameter and use the arrows to move to the position of your choice. Move Art now to position 3, just under the ECG. To change a parameter to a numeric-only view rather than a waveform display on Xhibit, under the Home Screen column, select the numeric zone rather than the waveform zone selection. Select Numeric Zone for respirations now. To activate a temporary waveform view of a parameter in the numeric zone, select the parameter. Touch Art in Mary Smith's patient zone now. The Art parameter now temporarily replaces the previous or bottom waveform shown in the waveform zone for 20 seconds. Any parameter without waveform data will show only numeric values when selected. A timer counts the number of seconds remaining on the temporary view. To view a measurement of any additional parameter displayed as the numeric in the numeric zone, use the arrows to the right of the numeric zone to scroll through all parameters. Use the bottom arrow in Mary's patient zone to view other parameters. Now you see additional parameters actively monitored for viewing current measurements or to select for temporary waveform viewing. Once an alarm is active, an audible alert will occur. Touch the bell icon in the lower right corner once to silence an alarm for 45 seconds and twice to silence an alarm for 3 minutes. To restore alarm notification, touch the bell again. Visual alarms are highlighted according to priority of alarm in either the waveform or numeric zone. A new alarm that occurs during the pause time reinitializes audible tones. Audible notification will reactivate automatically after the timer reaches 0 if the alarm remains active. A latched alarm message indicating the most recent high-priority alarm appears in the lower left corner of the waveform area in the patient zone and remains until acknowledged. Once acknowledged, the message disappears. Touch the high rate alarm message now in Mary's waveform zone. The message disappears once selected and acknowledged. There is an alarm history bar just above the numeric zone in the 2-column display and to the left of the waveform in the 1-column display, indicating history of alarm occurrences over the past 30 minutes. Alarm occurrences are color-coded according to level of alarm priority on the bar. Red for high priority, yellow for a medium alarm occurrence, and cyan tick marks indicate a low-level alarm. The most recent alarm is on the right side of the bar. Touch the alarm history bar now to view a log of the previous 5 alarms. When clinical access is connected, touch any alarm on the list to open the Alarms tab in Clinical Access on the dedicated display for alarm review. To review a particular alarm within Clinical Access, touch in the middle of the alarm snapshot. Touch the low heart rate alarm now. Click or touch the Save Action key to annotate and save the alarm. Type in the caregiver initials MG. Now this alarm event has been saved and placed in the Saved Events folder. You can also choose to print the event by selecting the box next to Print while saving. When this is selected, the event will print and be saved in the Saved Event folder. These events will be accessible anywhere clinical access is available for any clinician or physician to review. A detailed online learning course covering the Spacelabs software application Clinical Access is available in addition to this learning module. The arrow next to the alarm history bar accesses a fly-out taskbar in each patient zone, providing quick access to several options. Select the taskbar arrow to open the taskbar within Mary Smith's patient zone now. There are 5 icons available in the taskbar. Several printing options are available once the printer icon is selected. The Post-it notes give the ability to select and display a Post-it note within the patient title bar for viewing of important patient information. The third icon is the color palette, which configures and changes the patient zone color. The second bed icon, when selected, minimizes the bed when it is not in use. The first icon accesses clinical access and launches it on the dedicated display. When you select Print from the patient zone or the bedside view, printer options are available. The Print Displayed option prints all data shown on the display. The Print Selected option opens a selection menu. Select the printer icon now from Mary's taskbar. A drop-down menu appears with several printer options. Default options are available for printout choices of 6, 12, 18, and 24 seconds. To select the strip option or to print a continuous strip, select Print Selected now. A report selection parameter window appears with parameter options. Select ECG now and select Strip 6 seconds, then select Print. This generates a 6-second printout of the ECG waveform. If continuous is selected, a continuous strip printout will occur until stopped. Once a parameter is chosen to continuously print, there is a print icon with a red strip through it that remains in the lower right corner of the title bar area and is available to easily stop the continuous printout. Printing options can be selected by touching the waveform zone or the Spacelabs S icon also. The last icon in the taskbar allows creation of a Post-it note for display of important patient information on the title bar in the patient zone. Select the Post-it note now. A drop-down menu appears. There are 5 predefined Post-it notes and 5 user-defined possibilities available for selection and display. Select Bath now and click the box next to Display Title. This definition will now display next to the arrow in the title bar. To clear the definition, simply click on the Post-it note and choose Clear. Then select the red arrow to close the window. Each patient display can be configured for display of patient zones in a single column or dual column format. To configure the home screen, select the Spacelabs S icon in the lower left corner. Choose Display Settings and select One Column View now. Once selected, the format changes to one column, providing a longer horizontal waveform display of each patient zone. To change the home screen back to dual column display, simply select the Spacelabs icon, Display Settings, and select the two-column view. The display is now configured as selected with a dual screen view, which maximizes vertical parameter viewing for each patient zone. To minimize or restore any unused beds on the home screen, click on the bed icon in the action bar at the bottom left of the display. Select Minimize Unused Beds. All unused beds are minimized, and a small number appears above the bed icon indicating the number of available beds. To assign a patient to a zone, click on the Spacelabs icon, select Display Settings, then choose the Room Assignments tab at the top of the screen. Select the room and place it in the appropriate zone. Select Mary Smith in Room 8 and place it in Zone 6 on Display 1. Since Zone 3 is unused, Mary's patient zone appears in 5th position on the display automatically. Xhibit is easily configured and allows remote viewing of any monitored patient parameter and all vital signs, delivering important patient data from any networked Spacelabs monitor for review by clinicians at the centralized monitoring station.